And that's why I had to study world religion, because I found over and over again my patients' ideas about God were the most dangerous thing in their life, and it led them to a lot of illness and a lot of disease. I mean, if you want a quick example, just look at vegans and vegetarians. There's very rigid ideas about food and about animals and about nature. And those ideas become their God. And that God is so powerful that when they're protein starved, their hormonal systems are breaking down and they've got cancer, and they're sitting in my treatment room convincing me that they don't need to eat meat. And I'm saying to them, why are you here paying me $750 an hour if your health philosophy is as good as you say it is? Because this does not make sense. And I'm telling you that your body, and I just ask, I'm looking right in the eyes and say, what happens to you when you smell meat? You walk into a restaurant with some friends and you smell meat.
Their mouth probably waters.
They start to salivate and they have to go into denial. What happens when you see a nice piece of pink salmon and you haven't eaten meat in a year and you're pregnant? Your body is sending messages to your head so fucking loud, and yet you turn it into some kind of a contest to see if you can be as disciplined as it takes to say no to yourself.
I say the same thing. I think Sam Harris does the same thing with a mystical experience. I think he goes, nah, that's not God. He arm's lengths the God experience.
Of course.
And I think that's the stuck point of a lot of atheism.
Yeah. But it's great, though, because you see, God thinks this is fucking hilarious. You know, oh man, I mean, I've had a lot of mystical experiences and union experiences with God. I like the sense of humor God has is wicked. I mean, wicked. It's like I've laughed and cried so hard that it took me days to recover because my muscles hurt so bad from laying on the floor and fucking laughing and crying in pain, but laughing. Because when you see the punchline of the joke, you realize the more pain you in, the more trapped you got in, not realizing it was a joke and not realizing it's a story and it's a dance and it's an art form. You know, God is the great artist, and God can burn the art. Right? Imagine being Michelangelo, making David, and saying, "Oh, fuck it," and taking a sledgehammer to it after 10 years. That's what God does. God says, "Oh, fuck, it's just a universe. I'll make another one. And I'll make it better." And it's fun. And that's why I practice stacking rocks. That's why I love to paint. I practice doing things like that so that when I make something that I really love, I can knock it down and learn to detach from it. Learn to not let my sense of attachment become what determines my own sense of worthiness or value or, you know, I won't mention too much, but out of love, I painted a painting for one of my family members. And I really was just, you know, sharing my love. And for whatever reason, I was talking to this family member after I sent him the painting. I said, I never heard back from you. I sent you this painting in the mail. It's been like 2 months. What'd you do with it? To be honest with you, I lit it on fire and burned it because I hated it.
Oh my God.
And I was shocked. But you know, the pain that rose up in me, I said, inside of myself, I knew I was in spirit, Jim, right there. I said, okay, did you really give it to him? Or did you give it to him to please you? I said, right now the pain you're feeling is because you wanted to be acknowledged. You wanted him to validate you. And the fact that he burned it is your chance to truly make it a gift. And so I ultimately just said, well, I gave it to you to do whatever you wanted to do with. I hope that was a nice warm fire. You know, but I had to breathe my way through it. See, there's spirit, Jim.
I love that you just said that. I'm in spirit, Jim.
Yeah.
Because that is like an audible or, you know, almost like a mantra that anyone can use, these moments that come into our life. I feel like I'm in Spirit Gym right now with certain things that are happening in my personal life that I've never experienced before. Yeah. And I haven't used that phrase before because I just, I'm hearing it right now, but like reminding myself that in a year, I'm going to look back and think to myself, man, I learned so much about myself, about reality, and my relationship with Chase grew from that experience. How is that a bad experience?
Yeah.
And that's when we're growing, right? And it's not just these unconscious negative circumstances that come up in our life that are, putting us into the victim or child state.
Yeah, we got a couple extra plates on the bar. Spirit Gym.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
you do. Yeah. That's why they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
If you can just breathe through it. We didn't get a lot into my childhood and all that stuff, but man, I had a fucking ball buster of a childhood.
Yeah.
So much death and so much violence. My brother committed suicide because it just broke him. My stepfather was just unbelievable. My dad drowned when I was 8, and that was so painful. I mean, it just hurt so bad. And to see another man touching my mother and being intimate with her, but us kids not understanding what was going on, and then to have him beating us up and beating my mother up, and just so many things. And we had a large 142-acre farm. My father worked us like frickin' slave dogs, man. And so I just didn't have a childhood. I was given a lot of responsibility from the day I turned 8. Once I could reach the pedals on the tractor, it was full go, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's your son right now. That's Mana. And I can't even imagine putting him in that situation where he's like, well, you got to grow up. You got to be a man at 8 right now.
Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed that, check out right over here for some more fun clips.
Oh, and you're going to want to subscribe.
Bye.